YouTube, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Gracie from Small Pine Crafts, and today we are going to learn how to make this traditional 4-color, 4-round granny square. I will also be showing you a trick to securely weave your ends and how to block the square at the end to make it look nice. Just a quick note that this tutorial is not meant to teach you how to crochet. This is designed for people that already know how to crochet, basics like in the round, double crochets, and chains. Let's get started. To make this square, you will need 4 colors of yarn of your choice. Worsted weight acrylic is what I will be using, but you can use any yarn, really. You will need a 6mm hook or any crochet hook of size, a tapestry needle, and some scissors. Start with a magic ring. So you're going to put your yarn like this, go like this, and have your yarn like this. Then you're going to pick up your hook, slip in, grab the yarn, then you're going to make 1 chain to secure it. Now, from this point, you're going to chain 1, and we're going to do a stacked single crochet. That will count as the first double crochet in the cluster. So, go into the chain, pull up a loop, single crochet. Then you're going to go between these 2 bars here, put your hook, pull up a loop, single crochet, and that will count as your first double crochet. Now we're going to put 2 double crochets in to make our first cluster of 3. So we're going to yarn over, go in, pull up a loop, pull through 2, pull through 2, pull more yarn out, pull up a loop, 2, 2, and that is your first granny cluster. We're going to make the corner now and then another cluster. So what you're going to do is chain 2. That'll make our corner. And now you're going to do 3 double crochets into the magic ring. So 1, 2, 3. Now you have 2 clusters. Let's make another corner. Chain 2, and then put a 3rd cluster in. So yarn over and make 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3. Now we're going to turn another corner. 1, 2. We're going to put our last cluster of 3 double crochets in. So 1, 2, 3. One last corner and finish off this round. So you're going to chain 2, pull the magic circle tight, and then we're going to slip stitch into the top of that stacked single crochet. Stitch, pull it tight. And now we're going to bind off and change colors. So you're going to chain 1, set that down, grab your scissors, cut, pull, tighten. We're going to put that aside. And there you have it. You have the first round. I'm going to show you a trick to weave in this end so that finishing off the granny square will go faster. So to do this, you're gonna pick up your hook, pick up your square. You're going to put your hook in through the back loop, catch the yarn, and pull it through the loop. Now you're going to that, you're going to go through the back loop, catch the yarn again, pull it through. Back loop, catch the yarn, pull it through. And you're going to do the same thing through the chains, and you're going to go around the corner. Just very carefully. Do the back loop, catch the yarn, pull through. I like to cover 2 corners with this trick. It secures the end very well. It doesn't worm its way out. It leaves a bit of length so that if somehow it does worm its way out, you can easily weave it back in. And when the square is finished, you just cut the ends off. Through. Through. And you're done. We're going to leave this end to weave in at the very end of the granny square when it's done. So now you're done with that, and you're ready to attach the next color. To attach the next color, I'm going to grab it, leave a tail for weaving. You're going to make a slip knot. Then you're going to pick up, and instead of putting it in the same corner, we're going to go around to the opposite corner where that end is sticking out. Pull that tight. Pardon my cat scratching the wall. Chain 1. We're going to do another stacked single crochet. So, into the corner, single crochet, go into those bars, crochet, and there you have it. Now, I'm going to pause real quick. I'm going to weave this end using my hook. I will come back when that's done. You don't have to weave your ends in this way. You can do it however you want. This is just how I do it to save some time. Now that I've woven that in, we're going to go back into this, and we're going to make another cluster of double crochet. So, yarn over, go in, pull up, pull up, and you have a cluster of 3. Now we're going to go into this corner. So we're going to put 3 double crochets. Now, since we're at the end here, we're going to make another corner. So chain 2 and put 3 double crochets back into that spot. And there you have it. We're going to keep going to the next corner. We're going to yarn over and put 3 double crochets into this space here. Turn, and we're going to make another corner. So you're going to chain 2, put 3 double crochets in. Go to the next space, put 3 double crochets, turn, chain 2, three double crochets, and we're back to the beginning. So 3 double crochets, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of our stacked single crochet, and bind off. Now we have 2 rounds on our granny square. For the third round, we're going to do the exact same thing as we did before. We're going to grab our new color, make a slip knot, and go into the opposite corner from where we started the last time. This will help avoid a spiral look in the middle of your granny square. We're doing a stacked single crochet again, so chain 1, single crochet, go into the bars, and single crochet, and there's our stacked single crochet. Start the same way we have in the other corner. We're going to make our cluster of 3. So put 2 double crochets in the corner. Now, we're going to put 3 double crochets in this space here. One, 2, 3. And then put 3 double crochets and chain 2 and then another 3 in this corner. And there's our corner and our side. You basically copy this all the way for all your rounds with clusters of 3 in the gaps, and then 3, chain 2, and 3 in the corners. So let's keep going. I'll show you again. We're going to put a cluster of 3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, corner. Keep going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, slip stitch into the top of our stacked single crochet, and chain 1 to bind off. Now it's time to start our 4th and final round on this particular square, but you are able to keep going if you want using the same pattern repeat. However, if you do plan on making this any bigger than 4 or 5 rounds, I would recommend flipping your square and crocheting from the opposite side every time you change colors and rows, just so that it doesn't get a weird spiral look in the middle. Let's get started. find the end, make a slip knot. Remember, we start in the opposite corner from where we ended. So we're going to go into this corner. Do another stacked single crochet. Let's pull that. Chain 1, single crochet in the back bars, single crochet, and there's our stacked single. Now, we're going to go over that trick to weave in this end using the back loops one more time, just in case you would like to do so. Go through the back loop, catch the yarn, pull it through. Go through the back loop, catch the yarn, pull it through. Go through the back loop, catch the yarn, pull it through. Back loop, catch the yarn, pull through. Back loop, catch, pull through. Back loop, catch, pull through. Now let's finish this bad boy off. Pick the yarn up, tighten it, and like we've done many times before, put 2 double crochets next to your stacked single. There's our first cluster. Now let's repeat everything we've learned in the past few rows. Go into clusters and put 3 double crochets. Go into the cluster, put 3 double crochets. And here's the corner. So 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, and there's your corner. Let's keep going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, corner. 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, chain 2, 1, 2, 3. See, we're almost done. Let's finish this off. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Now chain 2, slip stitch into the top of our stacked single crochet, Pull it tight, chain 1, and we're done with our super simple traditional granny square. Now let's weave in the ends. Since I did that trick through the back loops all the way around, I don't have to worry about these. However, I do need to weave in and reinforce the last corner in the magic circle. You should always reinforce your magic circle just in case. So I like to do that with a knot. You pull as tight as you can without snapping the yarn. Go through the bottoms of the double crochets. Go all the way around in at least one full circle. Then for extra security, I go back in the opposite direction. And this just makes it less likely for it to come apart, and the friction helps keep it together. Now for the corner, I like to come down through the back of the stitches and weave it multiple times through the corner. So get it through your needle. I like to come down through this bit, pull it all the way through the back of the stitch, pull it through, go through that little bit, pull it through. Then I like to go through here. I like to catch it through a back loop here just for a little added security. Make sure it doesn't tangle in on itself. Come back into the corner again. Go down this side. Watch for the hook, needle, wherever it goes. Get it through. And go back through. And that is plenty secure. So now we're going to use a bit of camera magic to snip off these ends. There you have it. So you finished your granny square, but wait a minute, it looks a little different than this one. That's because this one has been blocked, which is the process of using moisture and pins to relax the fibers and stretch it out a little bit. So let's go figure out how to do that. To block the granny square, you're going to need T-pins, a foam blocking board, and a spray bottle filled with warm water. I want this square to be stretched out to 6 by 6 inches, so you're going to start and take a pin in the corner and just stick it in any corner you like. Take another pin, and I'm going to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take that and pin it. Take another pin, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Take the pin, stretch it out. Now for the last one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pin it in place. Okay. Now that the corners are pinned, I like to just fill in the sides for every inch, starting with the midpoints. So take the pins and put them in the middle, the clusters, pulling them out. Make sure to stretch it. It's okay to stretch it. You want it to be this size. Take the pin. 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 And pin. The next step is wetting this down. Some people use a garment steamer, but for just granny squares, I like to use this spray bottle I got from Dollar Tree of just some warm water. So now you're going to spray it. And you don't need to soak it. Just get it lightly damp and wait for it to dry. And there you have it. You now have a nice granny square with crisp corners. For any purpose you could use this granny square for. I'm using these granny squares and 2 other styles to make a blanket for my brother as a wedding gift. Come back next week to see the tutorial for the next square in the series. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed this tutorial. Comment below what you have done making granny squares, and I will see you in the next one.